Alright, looks like we are live. Hello, everyone out there in RGL TV land. Thank you for
What's
that
up, RETROTHON?
anonymous gift for those 5 gift subs. Get those retro wins out for that awesome person. Congrats to Stormcrow and THX and Lex Dragon and Mecha Dangerous and Just Another Guy 5. Alright, I am LRock617, and joining me today is darkalexander.
Hey, everybody.
We are going to be running Simpsons Arcade Co-op, which I believe you only learned this run as a duo about 2 months ago. Anticipating submitting it for marathons, including this lovely one we'll be doing for you this week. I've had a lot of fun with it, but as much time as I put in this game on solo, learning this game on co-op has been an entirely different animal. This game's cruelty just turns it up to another notch once you get another player involved. And there's a number of reasons why, and I can start showing those off here in a moment once we get beginning. So let's go ahead and fire in our credit. Start time on pick a second character. DA is going to be playing Marge. I'll be playing Lisa. Call us the Springfield City Girls at 3, 2, 1, go. Everyone who's seen this game knows the story. Smithers kidnaps Maggie because she has a diamond in her mouth. Starting off fairly innocuously, we're just going to be killing enemies, and that's pretty much what you're going to be seeing for the next 20 minutes or so, is us just killing enemies. That was an insane triple. So nice job there. So this guy, door open, drop a bomb on him. Good. We can get both guys. Got a bus stop here. Normally that guy doesn't get that far out of line, but okay. So, the big thing to note here right away for co-op runs is the fact that the enemy count goes through the roof. I think we had to fight something like 6% more enemies at a time than we would on a solo run. Luckily, since we're playing the JP version, we still have access to all these incredible weapons we're going to be abusing on boss fights. And we even get to use a bowling ball here. Extra free hit. Free, not free. Only 2. This guy does have a little bit more health than he would in the solo run, but it's not too bad. He also gave us excellent luck there, so nice job there. Good stuff. Thanks for the assist with the bowling ball.
Oh, yeah. Darn hooligans.
Weird thing, it's random who gets to say their thing at the end of a stage. Here's where DA is going to shine. He is quite good at a speed tactic called hovering that I am absolutely not good at. It involves moving your fingers over the buttons, like kind of like a fingernail glide. It's like a faster form of mashing. Link to the Past speedrunners use it for gliding over large chasms. It's quite the technique, and he's better at it than I am. But anyway, stage 2. Got some more group here. That was don't do that.
Rude.
Oh boy. I was hoping to get both. Cross the block. Didn't want that to happen. A little bit of input there. Okay, so as mentioned before about weapons in this game, they're really busted. This stage we have a hammer. Last stage we had a broom, pretty much only for the boss fight. This stage we're going to have a hammer for the entire stage. Just how insane this actually is. Marge running around with her tire. Very tired by now. I like what you were doing. I really did. You were just milking that for all you could. I appreciate that. I normally don't get that, but fine. This is fine. And we lost the mailbox. Oh no. Mailboxes. So the thing about the hammer is the dive attack I'm doing is incredibly powerful, but it does have its flaws. It has a really odd hitbox. It's incredibly powerful as long as it's in line with a given enemy, but sometimes enemies just I don't really know how to explain it, but their sprites have a pretty specific size to them, I guess you could say. Sometimes they whiff. May not make a lot of sense if the fight does. Especially the case on hat guys for some reason. First, that was okay. Alright, first stage 2 boss. There is a bit of bad luck that can come along with this. Requires more dives like the last stage did. There's only one extended cycle, and there's the bad luck I was talking about. If he decides to go to the back and just drop bombs, that's just time scam. There's really not a lot we can do about it. 4 seconds later, and we're out. Smithers is inside the whole time. We're gonna go chase him. Okay, here we have this stage. You're gonna hear that exasperation a lot from here on out. This is the first true gatekeep from the run. This stage is something of a nightmare for a number of reasons. There's a couple of really difficult setups that we had to be able to get in the first couple rooms. Well, first couple segments, I should say. And then from there, even that is pretty much all for naught when it comes down strictly to the boss fight. That was rude. I've taken a lot of damage. Got hit by that? I guess I'll save the corn for myself. Give me a second while I remain quiet here. That was an excellent. Okay. Main tape here. Burger for yourself. Health conservation in this stage is incredibly important because without going too much into detail just yet, the boss in this stage is the hardest on co-op. I like a lot. For some reason, even though there are really good solo strats that you can utilize on the boss of this stage, they just don't work in co-op. And I've even sought out help from a tasser. I hasn't even been able to figure it out. As we're going down the elevator, I'll see if I can explain. So, the boss fight is a duo boss fight, so we have to fight two bosses instead of one. It's really finicky because of the two, one of them has additional iframes that he gets only on a co-op run. And this is the same regardless of whatever version you're running of this game. The solo strat that I use on JP also works on US, for example. But regardless of what version you're running, it doesn't work in a co-op run. The game's just like, okay, you get more invincibility because there's two people on the screen. And we haven't really found a way to mitigate that yet, so it just becomes a big firefight that they usually end up winning. Our goal, as always, is to try to see if we can both 1cc this game. We've only done that one time, and that's still our current CC, which is an 1134. Sorry, 1834. I did not mean to knock that off. Unfortunately, we got this guy. A farm for health. This is purely for safety, but we are going to need it. Okay, so the only time this run you're going to see this tandem attack. They're pretty bad otherwise. Got a lot of hits there. That was good. So the little guy's the problem here. He just gets tons of invincibility, and we still haven't really figured out why that is. Just hit. He off on him? I was hitting him from behind. Nice. Not getting a lot of damage here, but he's not hitting us. Okay, that was actually really good. I think that's the second time ever we deathless that boss, so that was really cool.
Yeah, that's huge.
That was actually completely on the fly. I was like, you're doing it, it's working, so I guess I'll do it too. Not bad. What are you doing?
That was rude.
Okay, so we're gonna try and take out these guys. After the door to open, I can get the kill. Some more sub-weapon goodness. In this stage, we have this hammer. Get really, really early. This is also the first stage where we both get access to a sub-weapon. We can just house on enemies. Mark's gonna grab that broom. Cool. Okay. Time for him to die. This stage is pretty short. There's not really a lot to say with this stage. It's just enemies galore. With a really easy boss fight. Oh, so this way. Kill things. The only really hard strat here is there's a despawn strat we're gonna go for here at the table that's kind of hard to do. Those two guys that are spawning from the left, if we move quick enough, we can make sure they don't get in here. You want to take the bus?
Sure.
Oh, okay, never mind. Hard to let him have his chance. It happens.
I was just a little slow on the uptick.
Boss is pretty simple. Once he wakes up, just do a short hop, your hammer or broom, and he's not going to be able to recover from it. It is super duper cheap, but it works. I always feel so weird about the difficulty drop from that stage into this one. Like from stage 3 to stage 4, but you know. And then it comes back up to a reasonable amount of difficulty for this stage. Here we have the butt. the butte, but it's actually the butt. That was bad. Okay, but that's okay. Yo, that was tight. Okay, so in this stage, the Springfield's Butte's just kind of silly. Like, the first segment especially is really awful because enemies are everywhere and they can also just basically go anywhere. Because there's just so much space for them to just walk around in, do whatever the heck they want. Didn't want this guy to spawn yet. That's okay. Grab this and set this up. Alright, time to hold down the fort and the bridge. Nothing too complicated here. One person has the slingshot, the other person can anti-air. Pretty solid. Yeah, hold the right, I feel ya. We're gonna kill this guy, get out of the way of this rock. Okay. So, for our finale, we're gonna go ahead and throw the slingshot here, go to the bear cub, take the broom. Big props to Makina Azul for discovering that broom, because that made this boss fight much more manageable. This fight used to be super hard. It still has some elements of difficulty due to the RNG. The boulders that fall are very much a mitigating factor in how well this can go. My blessings so far. They appear right in front of the bear. They haven't yet. We're going to be in bad shape. Like that. That's a good example. So he waited until the last cycle to do that, and we just got to keep pace with the rest of the time. Whee! Alright, good stage. I'd never seen them do that past the ending screen animation. That was strange. Alright, on to Dreamland. This stage actually has some really cool enemy kill setups, up to and including the boss. Here's one DA is going to do right now. This guy's going to spawn. A little bit too early.
Just a
okay.
little early.
With a little bit later timing, actually kill all three of them at once. By far the hardest part of this stage, the saxophones. Gonna go for a couple of hits there. What are you doing? Okay. I was talking to him now. Saxophone's being a jerk. Power plant workers I've actually discovered have a lot less health than I used to think they did, which is really cool.
There we go.
Turns out, once you decapitate him, you can just finish him off by just doing a single melee, which I did not know. Weird. Didn't know that until like yesterday when we were practicing. Alright, so for the nuke here, we got these Bart Devils that are normally really oppressive and hard to deal with. But thanks to the discovery by Zurst, the nuke just reduced all down to 1 HP and the fight becomes really simple. Discovered a new strat for the boss yesterday. We're going to try and get him to the top pixel, see if we can place him. Not fortunate. It happens though. This guy can get good. The second cycle we're going to do. Got both hits. Very good. Whew,
So
very good second cycle there. Alright, so our first cycle didn't go great, but it did give us the setup for the second one, and that turned out really well. Third cycle went about as expected. And for the last one, honestly here, while he's not moving, he's actually invincible, but we do this to keep rhythm. That way, once he is active, we can just start hitting him and never stop. Kind of sucks he decided to die off screen and cost us a little bit of time, but not a huge deal there. The interesting thing about co-op runs is the bosses do get more health, but because of the fact that in most cases we're doing double damage, like on that guy, it just really doesn't matter. In those cases, it can actually go a lot faster. And yes, Dreamland is canon, for those that are asking. Alright, on to our final bonus game, where DA is again going to be able to shred his stuff. I'm predicting a 7? Look at that. He's too good. He's too good.
Feels good, man.
Like, my best in that is like a 5. And he's just like, nah, you're free. Like, I'm trash. Alright, on to the unflavorful Channel 6 for Stage 7. It's going to be another double sub-weapon stage. I forgot to put up here. Very good. Alright, so as always, least to the left. Quitting a mod device I like to use. Least to the left, I'll rock. Duke's actually going to come in handy here. We don't get to use this in solo. I don't know. I feel like you should have hit more guys. Okay. What are you doing? Okay, you're invincible. Really?
Wow. He is just all over the place.
That was rude. So we have a mini boss here. One of the only ones in the entire game. It's going to be this giant robot. It. Grab. We got some health and stuff. Alright, so there's a despawn strat here I'm going to go for. I don't quite understand how it works on co-op just yet. And apparently it worked there. I guess you have to space out the... go ahead and grab the burger. I got it. Grab the corn too while you're at it. Corn's good for healing. So if you get the despawn strat, there's a guy who appears in the top door in that last segment. If you get the strat correct, then he doesn't actually appear. That was awful right now. Ninjas are normally pretty bad. They're like definitely some of the harder enemies in the game. They do that high jump best. You can't do anything. Come here. Did despawn that one though. So anyway, if you miss the strat, the guy still appears. Despawn didn't work. That time it did. Solo, you're just supposed to be able to kill the first two guys that appear after the robot as fast as possible, but that's not how it works in co-op. It worked that time, so that's cool. But for our boss here, okay. It's all weird. This is actually a little bit easier on co-op, even though it does take longer, because I have someone to help me take care of the riffraff. Only that goon that pops out of the door. Okay, so he gave us the proper number of cycles. If he decides to jump out of that last cycle, he can troll us by extending it to another cycle. Which means we have to hit him one more time. And whether or not that happens is completely random. Alright, so I don't think we've ever both been deathless going into stage 8, so this feels pretty awesome. Go see how this goes here. Last stage is just a short boss rush, Smithers and Burns. Smithers is finicky, very beatable, but it does require some things to go right, particularly in the sense that we want to make sure that he's following proper patterns. He usually doesn't because Glee and Slippery and all that. First phase, with that, do that. Again. Do it again? Yeah, that's fine. Taking a hit there is pretty normal. Nice recovery hit there. Can I keep him here? I didn't think this would work early. That was insane. Taking it. That's all you. Get a feast here. Now we have a lot of health going into Burns. So for Burns, we've only found one strat that works. First step is we're going to try and get him to the wall, because this means he's not going to be able to do anything with this wall. We're just up on him like this. He does have a lot more health here. Alright, so now the goal is we want to get him down here. We want to do the same thing. Get him over to the wall, hopefully in front of the bookcase. Swinging for the fences. That was unfortunate. That hit.
Oh, that double punch. What a jerk.
And Burns' melee attacks are extremely high priority, and they're really hard to do. They'll beat us out most of the time. You can see why this is why we wanted to make sure we had enough health before we just see if we can get him over this way. Really like a little bit too much here. Okay. There we go. There's the money. As long as we keep doing this, keep him spaced out or hits properly, which is easier to do on co-op, he shouldn't be able to get out of this. Glad we were able to realign this. That worked out really, really well.
No
Very
way!
Cool. That was great. Good stuff. End time.
Is that a PB too?
Honestly,
That's
it's
real
not.
Close.
No, it's not a PB. We that's our second best run ever by 8 seconds. But we were both deathless, so that was huge. So our best run of this ever featured a run with 1 death by darkalexander on the stage 3 boss, but it was 8 seconds faster than this. But I mean, like that's a hallmark for us. We've never double death with this run. That was insane. Whew. Good run.
Good game, sir. That was awesome.
Good game to you. Also have to give a couple of bits of props out here aside from yourself. Props to Boyo003 for handing off darkalexander for us to do this co-op run, as well as my own co-op partner in this game, Anthole, and my co-op partner in general, Enemy TV. You guys are awesome. Oh my goodness, Deathless in a marathon. What in the world? You took that strat and ran with it, man. That was so good. All right. Thank you so much, RGL, for the GGs, and to everybody for checking us out this week. We've got plenty more to come around this rest of this week. I believe up next we've got an X-Men Arcade run, a game I'm very, very familiar with. So hope y'all stick around, and we'll see you on the other side. Take care.
Peace.